Welcome back to Mindful Chatting on our Consultation Saturdays. Last week we talked about why graduate school doesn't teach us how to start or really sustain a practice. But today I want to go a step further because after that realization settles in, something else happens. New clinicians, and honestly even seasoned ones, are having hard questions, but they don't ask them because maybe they feel dumb or maybe they're stupid questions. But today we're going to say them out loud and we're going to do them together. Welcome to Mindful Chatting, a podcast where therapy meets real life. I'm Kristen, a therapist, business owner, and a lifelong student of what it means to fully show up in our relationships, in our work, and in our healing. Here, we unpack mental health concepts, explore mindfulness tools, and talk through the messy, beautiful, in-between moments that shape us. Whether you're a fellow clinician, a curious listener, or someone navigating your own growth, this space is for you. Let's chat. So the first question that I get a lot from a lot of my supervisees is, are we really allowed to make money? And this is one of the biggest silent questions. Not how do I price my services, but is it wrong to care about my income? And this is a lot of things that as clinicians and in private practices, we don't talk about because many clinicians feel that guilty raising our rates or even talking about our rates or even talking about money or ashamed wanting sustainability. But here's the reality. If your practice isn't financially stable, your nervous system will never fully relax. And clinicians who are chronically stressed about money cannot offer consistent, grounded care. Money conversations are not unethical, and avoiding them doesn't make you more ethical. It actually makes you more fragile. So don't be afraid to ask this question. Don't be afraid to talk to your clients about your rates. Your rates reflect what services you're being offered to them, not your worth as a clinician. The next question I get is, what if I mess this up? Yes, new clinicians often fear little decisions like, what if I choose the wrong electronic healthcare record system? Or what if I take insurance and then I absolutely regret it? Or what if I set up my fee and it's too low or too high? Or what if I don't get any referrals? But underneath all of those questions is, what if I prove that I'm not ready? But readiness is not a feeling. It's an iterative experience. No private practice was built with perfect clarity. It's built with small decisions, adjustments, and recalibration. You are allowed to make decisions and guess what? Change your mind or see that it's not working for you and then adjust and reset. If anything, just explaining all of these decisions to your clients as they happen, they're going to appreciate the authenticity. They're going to understand because let's face it, we're all trying to survive. We're all trying to create safety and stability and sustainability. And that's what you're doing within your therapeutic space and your therapeutic relationships with your clients. So if you can't have these really hard conversations about, look, I tried it this way, it didn't work, and this is how I'm adjusting, how do you expect your clients to have these hard conversations with you? For any clinicians tuning in, if insurance billing is the part of your practice that drains your soul, Headway will be your best friend. They get you credentialed, send you referrals, manage your billing, submit your claims, all the stuff none of us went to grad school for. It's free to join, and honestly, it's been a huge support for therapists who want to take insurance without drowning in the administration part. My link is in the show notes if you want to check it out. Now on to some more questions. How do I know if I'm doing this right? There is no universal right practice model, or there would just be something out there and then everybody would copy it. But clinicians look for templates and step-by-step rules and someone to tell them what works and what doesn't. But because there's a lot of uncertainty, and to be honest, uncertainty is really uncomfortable. But here's the deeper truth that's going on. You're not trying to build a practice. You're trying to build a practice that fits your nervous system, your life stage, your values, your capacity, and that requires a lot of reflection and not comparison. What's working for somebody else does not mean that it'll work for you. And I'm going to be honest, you won't know what works for you until you start trying. And that's why it goes back to that other question of, you're allowed to make mistakes. You're allowed to try things and then adjust and reset because you don't know where your nervous system is, and you don't know what your nervous system is going to be in 6 months from now. You don't know what life stage you're going to be be in 2-5 years from now. And your values of where your practice is today when you start it, I will let you know right now, will change 5 years into your practice. And the capacity that you start off making because you want sustainability and you go into this hustle culture starting it off will not sustain, and you will have a different capacity, hopefully, 5 years from where you're at right now. Another question is why does everyone else look so confident? This is a comparison trap. Social media and networking spaces always show these polished websites, these full caseloads, all this confident positioning, and this idea of clarity. But behind that is a lot of trial and error, a lot of financial anxiety, uncertainty, and some slow seasons too. Confidence is usually edited out, not inherited. And that's why it's okay to start off doing the website and then adjusting as it gets through. I'll tell you right now, my website did not look as pretty as it was when I started to where it is now. But guess what? I adjusted, I shifted, and I still got referrals. It's okay. You're allowed to try something, and you're allowed for it not to work and still do something different. And I bet all of the things and all of the practices that you're comparing yourself to, they started off in the exact place you were. Here's a quick note for my clinicians listening. If you're looking for a charting and practice management system that doesn't make you want to scream, well, guess what? I use TherapyNotes. It's clean, reliable, HIPAA compliant, and honestly saves me hours every week. You can try it with my link in the show notes. Now, if you've asked any of these types of questions, I just want to let you know that these questions do not mean you're incompetent. They mean you care and that you don't want to harm anybody. You want sustainability within your practice, and you also want to do it with integrity. And let me tell you, those are all green flags. The problem isn't the questions, it's the silence around them within our field. And that's what these Consultation Saturdays series are for. So if you're a clinician listening and thinking, okay, that's exactly what I've been wondering, you're not behind. And trust me, you are not alone. In future episodes, we're going to start unpacking these questions a little bit more concretely, but without maybe all the hype and pressure. Just thinking about them carefully, and we're going to do it together because clarity reduces a lot of the shame that we may be feeling. And shame keeps clinicians small, and you're allowed to ask questions. You're allowed to build slowly. You're allowed to not know everything yet, and that's not incompetence. That's development. I'll see you next Saturday, and as always, be gentle with your mind. One more thing before you go, and this helps me personally, staying present and grounded, which we all need, especially when your brain wants to spiral into disconnection. Me too. It's Brain FM. It's musically designed to help ADHD brains, well, really anyone's brain, focus, relax, or sleep, and I use it almost daily. If you want to try it, I've dropped my link in the show notes. And if you're looking for planning tools or ADHD-friendly resources, I'll keep a list of my favorite links in every episode.